Hey guys, this is Ajay. Let's get started. Today we are going to see Amazon DynamoDB, which is an NoSQL serverless database. So we have two types of database, which is relational database and non-relational database. Relational database is used where the structured data is required, and non-relational database is used when there is unstructured requirement of data is required. Like if I want to save unstructured form of data in my database and I have to use in my front end application, then I will be going for MongoDB or DynamoDB. Let's deep dive. So Amazon DynamoDB is fully managed, which is fully managed by AWS, and we can have a multi-AZ high available database. As it is in serverless, we don't have to manage any instance, don't have to install anything. Everything will be taken care of AWS. And when it comes to scaling, it can scale to massive workload, and it is having auto scaling capacity also, and we don't have to maintain anything. All the patches, everything will be taken care of AWS. uh, the DynamoDB is made up of tables, and as it is a serverless, it is not a database. Let's see the difference. Like when you go to RDS, we can see like create database. But when it comes to Amazon DynamoDB, it is showing as create table. What does it means? It itself is showing like if we want to have a serverless, it is already been the database is already there, and we just only have to create the table itself. But when it comes to non-serverless thing, we have to create the database, and we have to create the table inside it and everything. So when we use DynamoDB, the database is already there. We only have to create tables and upload all the necessary items in it and access it. That's it. And another thing is each table has a primary key in it. Each table has a primary key which must be decided at a creation level, which we'll be seeing in a hands-on. And in that table, it will have n number of items. We can feed n number of items to it, and in each items we can have n number of attributes. That is, item is considered as row. Let's, for example, I am having a sample data like this. So today we are going to create a table inside a DynamoDB like this. That is, it is just a book data which is having items and attributes in it. And when we finish this hands-on, we can understand how the table is created inside the DynamoDB. Okay. So go to DynamoDB. You can type as DynamoDB in AWS console. And go to the dashboard, and here we can see create a table. Already I have lots of tables, but I am going to again create a table. Create table. So table name it is asking. Let's say as today we have taken a sample book data from ChatGPT. So let's give the table name as book underscore number. Book number. Okay. So partition key is very unique key, and it is much more important. So partition key we will be giving as, let's say we can have this as book number, and book table we can use for table name as book table, and for the partition key we can use book number. Okay. And it is a string. So when it comes to table setting, if we kept as default, then it will be in an on-demand mode. Let's explore the customized settings, which is provision mode. We have two types of mode, provision and on-demand. When it comes to provision, then we have table classes, two types of table classes. That is DynamoDB standard. It is a standard purpose, general purpose, and it is infrequent access. IA means infrequent access. When when the data is being infrequently accessed, we can opt for DynamoDB infrequent access, and when it is general purpose, then we can go with standard itself. Let's say we will be using standard. And here also we have read and write capacity. We have two things like on-demand mode and provision mode. Generally, on-demand mode is preferred. Provision mode is used when the future has been predicted. Like I know what will be the read and write in future in my organization, then I will be going for provision. Let's explore the provision also. If you click this, we have auto scaling. Like when it comes to on demand, everything will be managed by AWS. But when we are choosing provision for the cost reducing purpose, we can implement, we can choose either we can use auto scaling or not. We can turn on or turn off auto scaling. And for read capacity also and write capacity also, and minimum capacity unit and maximum capacity unit we are having. So it is according to the read and write for the database. So as of now, we have explored what is provision. We can go for on demand, as everything will be managed by AWS itself. And it is also having the encryption. I'm going with the default encryption, which is a DynamoDB encryption. And we have delete protections also. And then if you give create table, table will be created for you. So our table is book table. We have to go inside the book table. Still it is creating. So when you go inside, you can see like overview. The partition key is book number. So we have not given short key, and because it is optional, and the capacity mode is on demand, and table set is active. So we have created the table now. So we have to feed a data in it. So I am going to take this sample data, which I have taken from ChatGPT, to feed into my database. So explore tables, explore table items. When you go inside the item, you can see create item. We have no item in it. We have only created an empty table, and we have to add values to it. So create item. So what we will be doing is, as we have partition key as book number, we will be giving book number 1 and book number 2, so that you will at last you will understand how the data is being given inside. So the book number is will be book number 1, and you can also add attributes to it. We can have lots of values like string, number, boolean, binary, null, string set, list, map, everything. So this is the partition keys book number. The value will be book number 1. Like this, we will be here. I have changed as book number 1. All other data will be similar. Book number 1, and I am going to add more attributes to the item itself. This is an item, and we are going to create lots of attribute inside the item. So add, let it be string. So example, this is item number 1. Here we have used as book number 1. So next thing will be the title. The title will be, copy paste the data, title of the book. We have pasted, and another attribute, it is also a string, which is author, written by whom. So it is written by this author. And we have to add another, and this is publishing published year. So it is a number. So we can go for number, and this year will be, published year will be 1951. And then again add another string, which is an attribute. What type of book, whether it is a fictional or non-fictional. Fiction. And another attribute, which will be number, which is a price of the book. Paste. So inside the item, we have created a table first, and within the table we have created item number one. Inside the item number one, we have given lots of attributes like title, author, publishing year, fiction or non-fiction, and price. And when we create an item, it will be getting created. So you can see here the book number one. The partition key will have unique values, like below the partition number we have book number one, like this. You can understand the partition like this. This is book number one. Book number one partition, below the partition key we will be having book number one, book number two, book number three, and the attributes will be like this. These are the attributes. The values attributes which are here listed here will be here. This is a structure. As of now it may look complex, but after doing hands on, when I explain, it will be becoming easy. Like you can see, we have fed the value inside, and when we create another item, same book number one is there. Now what will be, book number is there, which is a partition key. The partition key for each item should be different, right? So next one is book number. It has to be similar to the previous item. Book number one. Okay. For second item, partition key will be book number two, because the value should be unique. And string, again the title will come, so we'll be using item number two values in it. Title will be sapiens, and add another attribute. Go into the attribute, and now it is author. We're pasting the data of author is, and next one is the publishing year, which will be a number. So we are going to paste the publishing year, which is a number. And another attribute. This book is non-fictional. And last one will be the price. The value will be number. The price is, you can take any number of data, like for example I am taking this data to do a demo. I am taking this data from ChatGPT. And create item. When you do create item, you can see all the, this is our data within the table. Like we have book number one and book number two. Author is, we have a number of author, whether it is fictional or non-fictional, and we have price and publishing year and title. This is how we have to do a basic hands-on in database. And also when you see the dashboard, we can see something like this. And when it comes to the tables, we will be having a list of tables. We can create n number of tables in DynamoDB. Thank you guys.